In this episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast, we answer how long your audition video really needs to be. Doesn't matter if it's over. And we break down a case study. It's a good one. Welcome to the How to Get on Reality TV podcast with Dan Giesling, where I answer your reality TV casting questions once a week. Hey everyone, welcome to the 84th episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast. Last week we had a ton of great feedback. There's a lot of interesting things we're going to do some twists and turns based on what you guys said. But of course, the heart of the show is always you guys submitting questions through howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask and me answering them. That will never change. We'll always do some special episodes in between here and there. And we'll be working on those. But so we're going to go back to basics here for this one because we have a good case study. It was interesting to hear all the different feedback, what people wanted to see. A lot of case studies was, because I got a lot of emails, even though I only picked a couple of people from the letters. I got a ton of emails. A lot of people like the case studies, the occasional interview. We'll do some. I was this close to doing like a spontaneous Snapchat episode where I just rapid fire a bunch of Snapchat questions on casting. So I'm not going to do that yet, but if you want to add me on Snapchat, you can just add me. It's my full name, Dan Giesling, no space, because if you want to be a part of that show sometime in the future, you're going to want, it's going to happen out of nowhere. So you want to make sure that, and I'll post it on my Snapchat. So if you want to get involved with that, you can add me there. Just Dan Giesling, all one word on Snapchat. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into this week's. He's got a little question, but I've treated this as a case study because I think it's a good one. From Andrew.
Hi, Dan. My name is Andrew. I use your podcast and tips to help me make my audition video, and I was very satisfied with my content. To give you an idea, I am a high school math teacher that has looked for a job working in baseball instead. I was let go from a prior job partially for using my free time to watch baseball highlights instead of preparing for meetings and classes, and I also took off a full week of school to attend the MLB winter meetings last December to interview with teams and networks. Additionally, I've had people tell me I lack empathy, with one person even calling me a sociopath, so I shared some experiences with that in my life. However, I once had a student come to me with some deep personal issues, and although I barely reacted, she thanked me later for being such a good listener. I struggled with how to help her, but I eventually succeeded as her mother contacted me, stating that I was her daughter's guardian angel for helping her through her tough times. However, when I was done with my video, it ended up being just a little over the 3-minute limit, by 17 seconds in fact. Even though I was pleased with my video, I worked diligently to cut its length. Don't worry, I didn't talk like this in the video. I made sure to add gestures and energy to make myself more engaging on camera. I tried talking faster. I wrote out my entire videos to identify lines I could cut, but I couldn't talk too fast without sounding unnatural, and I felt my stories needed every last detail to paint the full picture I wanted. I did manage to record one video that came in under 3 minutes, but upon review I felt I lacked sufficient energy and I unintentionally forgot some details I wanted to include. I remember you saying that the short biography on the Big Brother audition website was a soft limit where you could type slightly more than 70 words. Although the website also requested a 3-minute video, was it a big deal that my video was just 17 seconds too long? Thanks, Dan.
All right, so let's get the question out of the way first because I feel like Andrew was saying, hey, Dan, I want to know what kind of water I should drink or what type of beverage I should drink, when really we need to talk about the steak in front of them. That analogy may not make any sense to you whatsoever, so let me just get right to it. He said, does it matter that my audition video was supposed to be 3 minutes and went to 3:17? It's not a huge deal. You want to try to keep it as close as possible. You definitely don't want to go any past that. You don't want to go 4 minutes. If it's a few seconds over, are you going to get disqualified? No. But you want to keep it as close as possible. Do I think it would influence 3 minutes and 17 seconds? Would I stress about it? No, 100% no. And I can't remember. I listened to your question a couple times. I don't know. You didn't say how far you got in casting. So if you did, it wasn't prominent enough, or maybe I didn't pay attention. I don't know. I listened to it a few times. So that's another follow-up question, which is what a lot of people said they wanted to hear in the feedback episode. But let's talk about you, man. Let's talk about you. So you explained in a roundabout way something very, very simple about you that's really, really, really unique. You are the character from Moneyball. Okay, you're a math teacher. You're extremely analytical, dude. You are so analytical. You're talking about sufficient energy. And I don't say that to degrade you or make fun of you, but that is who you are. You're a very analytical person, and so when you're talking, I'm like, dude, this dude has no energy. So when you went from no energy to like, oh, da 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 da, like it's almost like, and this sounds contradictory to what we were saying, it seemed fake. And you don't want to seem fake. For you, like when you're talking very articulately and you're talking in depth, like that's very analytically. So you're kind of like the high school math teacher, nerd, analytic Moneyball guy. But if I were to I would come right out of the gate and say, who are you? And be like, have you ever seen the movie Moneyball? That's me. I spent X, Y, and Z trying to break into baseball. I don't know if you had any success breaking into baseball, if you needed to go to minor leagues, but that's who you are. And that's how you need to pitch yourself. So, you got to be careful about becoming too salesy and having too much energy. And I know, for you, what the heck, Dan, you tell me to have a lot of energy. But I guess that's the value of presenting this as a case study, because for you, it didn't sound right. I guess you're going 150 miles an hour. Maybe you need to stay in your lane and go 85. But if it doesn't sound like you seemed like you pitched yourself as a apathetic math teacher with a minor in baseball, more or less. But I would 100%, I would pitch yourself as a Moneyball character. It's such an easy correlation, and you could probably explain. People don't know Moneyball. It's a movie starring Brad Pitt, where he's this analytical baseball guy that instead of being a general manager of a team, doing things traditionally, he does it all based off statistics. So if you can explain that to someone relatively quickly, but a lot of people know what Moneyball is, it's going to really help to identify who you are as a character. So for you, what I would say, we're answering the question. I would turn down the energy and I would refocus your story, because you got into saying you're apathetic. But I don't really think you need to say that, because by being analytical, most people are going to understand you're maybe a little more dry or a little less caring. But I would just pitch yourself as that, because it's such a home run. No pun intended, but I like that. Anyways, I hope this helps. I hope you can kind of play around with your energy levels, because that brings up a whole different dynamic or a different problem for people. Is that, for me, if we were having this conversation normally, I would be like, hey, you should probably actually, I wouldn't even talk like that. It's so weird, man. When you start to increase your energy, that's just kind of who you become. But I'm not super over the top, and I don't know. It's on an individual case by case basis, and so this is the power of breaking down a case study. And so I would really like to see your video, to be honest, and really just see, okay, where could you have went right instead of going left. Because I think that would also help you a great deal. So if you want to send me that, I'd love to take a look at it. But that being said, I hope that helped, Andrew. We're going to send you a free digital copy of my story, How a Normal Guy Got Cast on Reality TV. And if you want your case study broken down on the channel, or if you want your question answered on the podcast, you can go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask and leave your question there. I think after last week, it was weird. Not a lot of people submitted questions, which is kind of odd. But I guess we didn't talk about it, so it kind of makes sense. So I'd do that, and I've got howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask, because you guys ultimately drive the show. All right, so as we wrap things up here, you guys just add me on Snapchat, Dan Giesling, because I'm going to do an impromptu Snapchat rapid fire question podcast in the near future. I won't put your face on video. I already kind of tested it. I'll hold my phone up to the microphone so we can hear your question. I will respond to you in video, and people also hear response. I think that'll be a fun show. So the only way probably for you to be a part of that is for you to add me on there. So you can just add me at just Dan Giesling, all one word, on Snapchat. And I will see you guys next Monday. Have a great one. Later, guys.